Hey guys, Allie here tonight. I wanted to come on and talk about the subjects of detachment and attachment tonight in terms of manifestations. And so, you know, realize that we are source. We are I am. We are creating everything in combination with the universe, God, like I say, whatever you want to fill that in with. So when we get a desire and we want to experience that desire here in the 3D, we intentionally set out to do that, and we inhabit that state of being. We think how that person would be, who would I be in that state of being if I was living and experiencing that desire. We get clear on that, and then we let it go. And you have to think about it like this. We're source. So creation is finished and we're creating it all. So if we're creating something and it's already done, then as source, when we are in our knowing, when we are connected to our, the I am, the source, the power that we are, and we know and are residing in that power, then we know that we created all and it's already done. So we get that flash. We're like, yeah, I want to experience that. We inhabit that state and we just go about our day because we know that that's going to come. But when we are not residing in our power and we feel disconnected from that, then we start to attach to whatever that desire is. And we attach because we're worried and we doubt that we're going to be able to experience it. But remember, if you're attached, you're creating more and more of your reality from a place of being attached. And also remember that if you're attached to something and you're really hung up on it and really focused on it and all your energy's going into is this going to manifest, then you're not in your power. That does not tell the universe that, hey, I know who I am and I know that I am the creator of my reality and this is already done. It's sending out the vibration, the energetic state of that you aren't sure and you are afraid that you're not going to get what you want. So you're attached to it. And if you're source, and if you're connected to source, we're source. But if we know that, and we're resting in that power, and we're resting in that knowing, then we know that we are going to experience that. We are going to manifest that. We don't worry about how is it going to come about or when is it going to come about. We get that desire, we get that download, and we're like, oh, I'd like to experience that, or I'd like to do that, or, whatever, go there. We get the desire. We inhabit that state of being because I think it's important to be clear about what we want to experience in a detached way. We know what we want to experience, and then we inhabit the state of being of the person who is living and experiencing that desired reality. And then we just completely let it go. We don't sit here and like check in and see, are things changing on the external? We literally just let it go. And the reason is because when you're connected to source like that, you don't doubt. You just know, and you don't have to sit here and check up on it, and you don't have to worry about it. You just know. So when you're coming from a state of, yes, there's something you want to experience here in this 3D, you acknowledge that, and you inhabit that, and you know that, and then you just let it go. That's a detached way of going about it. And that's the way that's the most powerful, because it's not from a struggling and trying and fearful thing, which is actually repelling that desire. That energy is not a match to manifest that desire. When you just know and you just let it be, knowing it will be and it will unfold and everything will come into manifestation perfectly, that's when you're in your absolute power. You're completely magnetic to that experience, to that manifestation. So it's really, really key that when we find ourselves in the day, maybe focusing a little too much, going over in our head, kind of worried and doubting about something coming into manifestation, to remember that we are attached and we are not connected to our true power. We are feeling separate from it. So when we feel those things, recognize it and come into awareness of the fact that, hey, I'm really attached to this right now. I'm going to come back to the state of being that inhabits the person living that desired reality. And however you want to do that, there's a lot of different ways. For me, anytime I'm overly focused on something, it's like once my mind gets in there and then I'm focused, it almost seems like it's very difficult to get away from it. It's just all I can think about. The best thing to do is completely turn your attention to something else. Do something completely different, whatever it is that calls to you. I mean, for me, I like to work out. That really breaks things up for me, you know, and totally gets my mind off things. And then afterwards I feel better and my mind has disengaged from that overly focused mind, and I'm able to detach and be in a better place. It could be getting out in nature. It could be doing some sort of art. It could be taking a nap. It could be, you know, watching some television, you know, if it calls to you. Not all of that watching TV and stuff is bad. Sometimes it's just good to get your mind off of what it's ruminating on, you know, and get it onto something different so it can just disengage from that and you can just let it go. So once you realize that you're in that state of attachment, come back to your power, realize where you're at, and then intentionally come back into the state that is inhabiting that desired reality and let it go. And let it go by just some of the ways that I said a second ago, or a way that appeals more to you. And then continue to do that, because like I said, guys, like Source never worries. Source never has to doubt or fear or worry or look for signs or anything, because Source already knows, and we're Source. So when we rest in our full absolute knowing, in our full power, then we are at our most magnetic and powerful for that situation, lifestyle, thing to come in to our 3D and be manifested. So yeah, I think that's all I got. I did want to say a quick story about this because it's funny. I mean, there are others, I think, but this one is one that sticks out in my mind. So many years ago, I had just had like a niggling of I wanted a dog. I was like, oh my God, I kind of think I'd really like to have a dog. You know how those desires kind of start to pop in. And then I knew, I don't know why, but I wanted some sort of blue heeler dog. And I would see pictures in the paper and I'd be like, oh, you know, I was interested, but I wasn't quite all the way there yet. I was just kind of letting it unfold and seeing what happened. And then I read a book and there was a dog in it that was a blue heeler named Jasper. And I remember thinking, oh, that's really cool. You know, I like that name. So one day I decided to go over to the rescue, and there was an animal online, and it was a senior animal, and I was just gonna go and like spend some time with it. You know, it was not super mobile, but I was just gonna go and spend some time with that dog. Well, when I got there, they said, you know, this dog's not here today. I think he was being fostered or something. I didn't call ahead. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. And so I'm sitting there getting ready to leave, and I look up, and incoming through the door is this adorable blue heeler border collie puppy that they had just got done walking, one of the volunteers, and his name was Jasper. And so I did end up adopting that dog. But it's just so funny because there was no struggle or try or forcing on my part. It was just like I had a desire in, and I just kind of let it unfold organically. I knew that I was going to get a dog at some point. I wasn't really sure how it was all going to transpire, but I just let that desire be there, knowing that when the time was right, things would fall into place, you know? And I didn't have to plan or do anything. All I did was move from inspired places, which going to visit the shelter was an inspired place, and not calling ahead, so I didn't know that dog wasn't there. That was inspired. And then being there at the exact time that this puppy named Jasper was coming in, right after they got done walking him. It was like the way it all lined up was quite incredible. when I think about it. But that's how it is with the universe, you know? We don't have to struggle or try or do anything like that or force it. When we're doing that, we're not aligned with our power. And that's not how the universe does it. The universe does it seamlessly in a flow of a thought here and a inspiration there, and you just kind of move along, and it just manifests. And that's how it works with the universe, you know? So that was just a quick story. It was kind of like a really lovely way to show how things work out with the universe when you just have your desire and you don't grab and hold on and you don't check and see how is this going to work out or doubt if it's going to work out. You just simply let your desire in and then kind of follow the inspired nudges along the way as it leads you to it. So anyway, that's all I got for tonight, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day if you're across the world. I'm in the United States, so it's nighttime here. Or have a lovely evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Okay, bye.